Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome back to Find XYZ. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. We are still on the road to WASSCE 2026. Let's try this probability question. A coin and a die were tossed simultaneously. You are tasked to find the probability of obtaining the first and a head and a prime number, a tail or an odd number, and then lastly a multiple of 3. Let's dive in. Now, in probability related problems, there are two most important things. That is, you have to know your sample space. What are you looking at? So we are looking at tossing a coin and a die at the same time. When we perform this action, what are the possible outcomes? So once we know the sample, then we look at the event that we are looking at. So let's develop the sample. For a coin, you either get a head or a tail. And what about a die? For die, you get numbers ranging from 1 to 6. So you can either get a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. When we perform these operations at the same time, we can either get these are all the possible outcomes. How many are they? The coin is giving us 2, the die is giving us 6, so 2 by 6 will give us 12. So the number of sample is 12. This is what we are going to select our event from. Now the first step, we are tasked to find the probability of obtaining a head and a prime number. But what is a prime number? A prime number is any number that has exactly 2 factors. Please take note, 1 is not a prime number. So the event is a head and. Keyword is and. Now and means we want the two happening at the same time. So we want a situation where a head and a prime number happening at the same time. So it means that we are going to look at just head, because head is a condition. Then which one matches with a prime number? Now prime numbers, it means that a head and 1 is not prime, so it doesn't match. A head and 2, yes, 2 is a prime number. 3 is a prime number, but it's 4 a prime number. No. 5 is a prime number, yes, we select that one, but 6 is not a prime number. So what is the number of events? So the number of events is equal to 3, but we know probability of any event is the number of events occurring over the number of sample space. But what event are we interested in? We are interested in getting a head and a prime number. So probability of head and a prime is equal to the number of head and prime over the number of sample. So what is the number of head and prime? We have already established that. That will give us 3. And what is the number of sample? That will give us 12. Please take note, you should always simplify your answer. So how many 3 are in 12? That is 4. So probability of getting a head and a prime number is 1 out of 4. That is the first part. So this is for A. Then B, probability of getting a tail or an odd number. So for all statements, it means that we are doing something called union. We are picking a tail, we are picking odd numbers, then we do union. Now with union of a set, what we do is that we don't count the same number or the same event 2 times. So let's look at a tail, then when we are done, we look at odd numbers, then when we are done, we'll find the union of the 2 and write it as the number of events. So let's do the counting. It means that all tails qualifies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right, so we have 6. Let's write it down here. Plus, let's look at odd number. Now, odd numbers are numbers that is in this format 2n minus 1. Any number that can be expressed as 2n minus 1 is an odd number. So 1 is an odd number, 3 is odd number, 5 is also odd number. So we have 1, 3, 5. Then we have 1, 3, 5. How many are they? There are 6 of them. However, you realize that these values T1, T3, and T5 has already been counted. So we are not going to count them. So how many are left? 1, 2, 3. So we have 6 plus 3. That will give us 9. So it means that the number of events is giving us 9. That represents a tail or an odd number. So we can write probability of getting a tail or an odd number is the number of tail or odd number divided by the number of sample. The sample is 12 as we have already established. The number of tail or odd number is equal to 9. The number of sample is equal to 12. So we can say probability of getting a tail or an odd number is equal to 9 out of 12. And you can always simplify. So how many 3 are in 9? That will give us 3. And how many 3 are in 12? That will give us 4. So the probability of getting a tail or an odd number is 3 out of 4. That is a very high probability. Then the last part, the C. Now we see we are tasked to find probability of obtaining a multiple of 3. Now what is a multiple of 3? Multiple of 3 means let's pick 3 and let's multiply it. So we can start with 3 by 1, 3 by 2 in that order. So with multiples of 3, so we can have 3, 6, 3, and then 6. How many are we getting? So head and 3, head and 6, tail and 3, tail and 6. How many are we getting? We are getting 4 of them. So it means that the number of multiple of 3 is 4. Then what is the sample space? The sample space, as you already know, is 12. So probability of getting a multiple of 3 is the number of multiple of 3 over the number of sample. And what is the number of multiple of 3? That is 4. And what is the number of sample? That is 12. So we can simplify this. How many 4 are in 12? That is 3. So we have 1 out of 3. That represents the probability of selecting a multiple of 3. That is all I have for you. If you found this helpful, kindly leave a comment, share this video to all your friends, and I'll be back with another video. I am out.